This presentation was from the Federal Grantee Data and Implementation meeting. This will go over all the data elements that federal grantees need to have and collect within the system in order to show measurable scale gains and other pieces on the reports. If you have an IET student, IET students need to have a new registration added to their accounts. Go into the same place you had the NRS registrations, and under program type, you will select IET, or Integrated Education and Training Program. Select the registration date and click the Add Program Type. The outcomes that an IET student can get are one of three: the secondary or post-secondary transcript, progress towards milestones, or passing technical and occupational knowledge-based exams. These can be found under the outcomes page of a student under the top section. You will see that they will have IET MSG next to them, and only IET students will see these outcomes. For the reports of IET students, you will find them on three separate reports. Table 3 will give you the count of all of your IET students. In the example, you can see that there were 42 students of 5,023 total ABE students that were in the in the state. Table 4 will show you the number of IET MSGs that your program has awarded. Remember, MSGs will only show the most recent. So if a student earned an IET MSG and then got a pre-post test MSG, the pre-post test will show, not the IET. Table 11 will break out all of the MSGs for your IET students. Each line is represented by each outcome, and the rest of the table is very similar to Table 5. IELCE students, or Integrated English Literacy and Civics Education, must have a new registration added to their account. To do this, go to the same place you add an NRS registration, select the Integrated English Literacy and Civics Education registration, add the registration date, and add program type. Outcomes for IELCE students are found on the Outcomes page. They are three outcomes that you can award these students: achieved citizenship skills, voted or registered to vote, or increased involvement in community activities. These outcomes are found in the second section on the Outcomes page under what are called the secondary achievements. The reports for these students are found on Table 3. You will see a collective list or a collective number of the number of IELCE students, and Table 9 will show you the MSGs for IELCE students. Those outcomes on the previous page are not MSGs, but are additional outcomes that students can be awarded. Again, the rest of Table 9 will look similar to Table 5. Family literacy students will also need to have a program type added to their account. Again, go to the page where you add the NRS registrations, select the drop-down under Program Type, and add Family Literacy Registration. Add the registration date that the student began and click Add Program Type. Outcomes for family literacy students are as follows: increased involvement in children's education, which can be done in one of three ways: help more frequently with school, increase contact with children's teachers, or more involved in children's school activities. They can also increase involvement in children's literacy activities, which can be done by reading to children, visiting libraries, or purchasing books or magazines. Or the last outcome is left public assistance. These are found on the Outcomes page under the second section called Secondary Achievements. These students can be found as a total count on Table 6 under In Family Literacy Programs row. Table 8 will count all MSGs for family literacy students. Again, the outcomes on these are not considered MSGs, but are just considered additional outcomes. MSGs are still EFL and HSE MSGs. The rest of Table 8 will look similar to Table 5. Corrections or P&I students do not have an additional registration you need to add. You simply need to add the NRS registration to the student's profile. But one additional piece that needs to happen is on the demographics page, you will need to select if the student is in a correctional facility, which includes prisons and jails, if they are in a community correctional program, which are halfway houses, for example, the Other Side Academy or the Red Barn, or if they are in an other institutional setting, which in the state of Utah is the state hospital. Outcomes for P&I students are the normal MSGs, EFL, HSC, and any IAT if they are involved. Reports for P&I students are found on Table 6. Again, if you have correctional students but do not receive federal funding, you will not see a number on this report. These numbers will only count if your program receives federal correctional P&I funds. Workplace literacy students need to have a work-based learning program added to their registration types. Again, go to where you add the NRS registration, click the drop-down under program types, and add the work-based learning program. Add the registration date the student began, and click the add program type. For workplace literacy students, the outcomes are the same as IET students. Secondary or post-secondary transcripts, progress towards milestones, and passing technical occupational knowledge-based exams. Again, these are found on the outcomes page under the first section of primary outcomes. To find the workplace literacy students, you will find a count of workplace literacy students on Table 6 under the program types. You will also find them on Table 4 under the count of MSGs in workplace literacy students. Again, remember, MSGs will only show the most recent one the student has earned. So if they are not there, they're not most recent, they will not show on this column. If you have any questions, please reach out to the state and we will help you with those questions. Thank you.